In this video, I'll show you the best ways to farm enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, and ascendant shards, so you can masterwork your armor and weapons as fast and efficient as possible in Beyond Light. And if you don't believe me, just look at my vault. But hey, if you find this guide useful, do me a favor, share it with a friend, leave a like, and subscribe if you're interested in more Destiny 2 guides like this. Also, make sure you stick around to the end for some easy ways to get even more materials passively. Now, onto the video. To start off, I want to make a few things very clear. The Gunsmith offers masterwork material conversion, 10 enhancement cores can be turned into 1 enhancement prism, and 10 prisms can be turned into 1 ascendant shard. Using basic math, we know that means 100 cores to a shard. To masterwork a piece of armor, you will need 3 enhancement cores, 3 prisms, and an ascendant shard. Exotic armor takes 5 cores, 5 prisms, and 3 shards. And finally, weapons take 17 enhancement cores, no prisms, and no shards. The first source on our list is going to be the Pit of Heresy. This can be done completely solo or with a team, and once completed, you get a guaranteed fully masterworked piece of armor. The stats on this armor is always low, so feel free to dismantle this into 6 cores and 6 prisms. You only get 1 armor piece per week per character, so unfortunately we can't farm this over and over. You can, however, give your boss checkpoint to a friend and swap characters to skip to the boss fight on all your alts. And you can also keep the armor and store it in your vault to store your enhancement prisms and cores. Next up are Gunsmith Bounties. The daily bounties give you enhancement cores and are extremely easy to complete. Just grab these while you're in the tower or in orbit using the Bungie app, and you'll probably complete them while you're doing some of the other activities on this list. Nightfalls are going to be the best source by far on this list if you have a team. You can also do the lower levels solo since they have matchmaking, but you're going to get even more rewards if you do Masters and Grandmasters. If you are solo, I would recommend the hero difficulty to get cores at a common drop rate and prisms at a rare drop rate. If you have a team, do the highest difficulty you can do comfortably and quickly. Legend and Masters are great, but Grandmasters are obviously going to give you the most. You get a guaranteed Ascendant Shard, a chance at a second shard, a high chance of prisms, and common exotic drops. Now, the best part of Nightfalls are actually the double drops. Every few weeks, Bungie turns up the rewards of all the Nightfall difficulties. Even Grandmasters give 2 guaranteed shards, and a chance at 2 extra shards, and double exotics. So if you ever see a notification for double Nightfall rewards, definitely farm them that week. After farming Nightfalls for a while, you'll be left with a ton of prisms filling your postmaster. You can actually break these down into cores, but in a weird way. Whenever you get a blue armor piece to drop, check and see if it already has 5 energy. If so, you can upgrade it to 8 energy and then dismantle it. This takes 3 cores and a prism to upgrade, but dismantling it gives you 6 cores, essentially doubling your cores for the cost of a prism. Spider has multiple ways for us to get masterwork materials. If you're stupid or rich, you can buy them directly for legendary shards, but if you're not dumb, you can grab his bounties. These are easy and give enhancement cores, but unlike the Gunsmith bounties, you'll have to go out of your way sometimes to get some of these done. The best part of Spider though is his planetary material exchange. If he happens to sell Nessus or EDZ materials, you can buy a lot of them and turn them into their respective vendors. Devrim and Failsafe still drop year 1 weapons, which means they can drop year 1 masterworked weapons. When you dismantle these, you get 1 or 2 cores, which might not seem like a lot, but you can get a ton of these very quickly. And since you're dismantling all the gear they give you, you get most of your legendary shards back. So in all honesty, you're not spending a whole lot. Curated weapons are in short supply these days, but the few that you can still get in-game can be dismantled into 7 cores. The curated weapons that I know of can come from either the Last Wish Raid, Shattered Throne Dungeon, and Nightfall specific weapon drops. The Legend and Master Lost sectors also give enhancement cores. Unlike the exotic armor though, you can get enhancement cores to drop while you're in a group. These can be done in 1 to 3 minutes with a group, and even solo can be done in only a few minutes. The drop rates of cores are kind of low, so I wouldn't recommend soloing these unless you plan on farming exotics at the same time. As promised, for those of you who stayed to the end, here's a few tips for passively getting materials. First off, ghosts can get perks that give you your choice of enhancement cores or enhancement prisms after defeating bosses and strikes, getting headshot kills in Crucible, or killing invaders in Gambit. Just make sure you have the right mod equipped, and you'll slowly get cores and prisms for just playing the game. The other semi-passive way to get cores is by going into your inventory and using a finest matter weave. If you're like me, you probably have hundreds of these that you always forget to use. Each one of these gets you a guaranteed enhancement core after killing a boss or sometimes majors. These are easy to forget about, so try to make it a habit of popping these every once in a while to maximize your enhancement core output. To be as efficient as possible while farming materials, start off the week by grabbing Gunsmith Bounties, run the Pit of Heresy on each of your characters, then hop over to Nightfalls, preferably the highest difficulty you can do. Make sure you're popping finest matter weaves as often as possible, and have a ghost on with one of the Vanguard perks. If you ever get bored of farming Nightfalls, you can always do one of the other activities I mentioned earlier. Did I miss anything? Is there anything you would add? Let me know down in the comments. I hope you found this video helpful. Like the video if you did, and share it with all your friends. Thank you all for watching. I'm Marshix, and I'll see you next time.